company space bugs, Robin. You sure you want this? The research isn't everything.
It is to me. And Sam. I need to know what happened.
The meteor storm.
I can use it for cover from Altera's eyes.
Gonna miss you, Robin.
I'll find my way back.
Okay, so this is a completely different start, that's guaranteed.
Approaching 45-46 speed. Surface temperatures. Drop pod deployed.
Pull up, Robin!
Hey folks, and welcome back. So, I'm Outback Gamer. This is my weekly roundup. We're on day 15, I think, without internet, so we've been playing a bit of Subnautica Below Zero. And with our little dongle internet, we've been playing a little bit of 7 Days to Die as well. So, this is what I've been up to on the game. Anyone who's not used to Subnautica, it's an amazing single-player survival game. It doesn't require internet. Below Zero is just about to come out. Hopefully it rolls out in consoles as well.
No, we can be friends, we can be friends.
I've really enjoyed it so far. It's got a lot more building options than the previous Subnautica game. More buildings. I love the command room. It's a new change. You can walk through and literally power down areas, shut doors, seal bulkheads. It really does make you feel like you're in command.
Tried and we failed. Whoa. Pretty red out
So,
here.
obviously for the first few days we recorded voice, just in case you guys are interested in hearing my reactions to some of these things.
Cool.
And yeah, they are beautiful. The graphics in this game are probably better than the previous graphics, despite being the exact same. It's hard to describe that, but the visual repertoire they have is much better. So this is obviously the first base Delta Cam you go to. You actually get your habitat builder here, very important. Now there's these cute little plants that you can see right here that hit you up. So it's a brand new mechanic. Below Zero deals with getting on land a bit. You get snow foxes to help explore. There is so much new cool content added with the new game.
Altera beacon signature detected. Unique identifier. Delta Station dock.
Sanctuary power critical.
Hello? Is someone there?
Fundamental speaking. We're running out of time.
Delta Station. This is the place Lil mentioned in her message.
Bloody replicator.
What is all this?
Secure emergency storage medium.
I can help you better if you show yourself.
If we could show ourselves, we would not need storage.
You mean you don't have a physical presence? Are you one of them? An architect?
Storage medium identified. We will be lost unless we find a new host. Can you help?
Can you use my PDA for storage?
You are not with the group from before. Your cybernetic components behind their signal.
Altera? No, my equipment is, borrowed.
You will have to do.
Never trust a replicator.
How long have you been stored here?
Longer than hoped. Warning. Sanctuary power critical. Our data can be downloaded from the terminal. We may speak more once the transfer is complete.
Yes, okay. Hurrying.
Storage medium accepted. Brace for Chancellor.
Brace? What's happening?
Chancellor.
So yeah, obviously you
Complete.
got a robot inside of you now. It's pretty cool.
How do you feel?
Why do you sound like you're inside my head?
The facility identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
You are in my head? I offered you my PDA! Get out!
Oh no. Does your kind perceive a boundary between cybernetic and organic components?
My mind is not a component.
You sound angry. We will allow your mind to process.
Don't you go silent on me. Hello? This is not happening. That's the explanation. It's not happening.
So the dialogue's obviously very good in Subnautica Below Zero.
Stop right there, Altera. You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Altera.
Then your position is doubly precarious.
What do you mean?
If you're telling the truth, you're out of your mind. If you're lying, there'll be hell to pay.
Wait! Who are you?
Stay off.
And for once, you're not the only human being that's actually left alive by the look of it, which was awesome. This chick is just adding to the dialogue. This is the first big thing I found, like really big thing. I found many little creatures out there in the water somewhere, but yeah, this is definitely the first bigger one I found. It's pretty cool. It's like a whale looking thing. I think they call it a glow tail or glow whale. Peaceful, obviously. It didn't try to eat me.
You do not trust Altera,
No. Neither do you.
but your sister was Altera.
My sister was my sister. She worked for Altera.
My people do not perceive a difference. We are what we work for.
Well, Sam wasn't. I should have guessed Altera would find a way to clip Sam's wings, like I knew they'd do to mine. I tried to warn her, and she was stubborn, just like me. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be so different from her. Scrappier, faster, way less play by the rules.
Was Sam working in the best interest of Altera?
Yes, but they definitely didn't think so.
We believe that individuals may operate in the best interest of the collective or against the best interest of the collective. There is no in-between to us.
So you always saw eye to eye on absolutely everything with your network?
No.
I sense there's more to the story.
And more to your sister's story as well.
That's fine. Change the subject. We'll come back to it later.
So it's nice having the dialogue options now and conversations with the little guy. It's just makes you feel less lonely. Subnautica always delivers a really powerful storyline, and these guys have brought it for this one, for sure. So this is just demonstrating that I have a base now. I worked very hard. Once I had to build a module, I started building, chucking a heap of solars on the roof like we did in the previous game. Built a little replicator. The battery console was extremely easy to build. The power cell was easy to find and build. What's cool now too is you can also build on bulkheads. So see how I've got the reinforced bulkhead to the right there? You can actually build on that now. The aquarium is just for show. You can't breed in it. Before you think otherwise. Specimen tanks still work for breeding. So this is the vehicle that they let you build. It's called the Sea Truck. The reason why it's a bit like a sea moth, except that it allows you to build additional modules and then attach them to it, which is kind of cool. We'll get into that in a little bit. This is what I call a kaiju. I don't know what it actually is, but it's so nasty. I call this the lobster fish. I'm sure it's some kind of reaper, but yeah, it's definitely lobster-like. It's terrifying in all the wrong ways. That was a squid shark, electrifying shark-looking thing. So this is a cool little area I found. Some of the modules were down here. It was deep below the trench where we first got that alien implant. And it's got these things in it. Now, I think I'm used to these things. I remember them being in the previous game. I'm pretty sure I remember these things anyway. But yeah, they're like little sand, zappy grab things that hurt you. Not great, but I remember them being in the previous game. So this was a habitat area I found. Now this one was so helpful for the building options. It allowed the building of a command room, allowed the underwater seabeds, which I've been placing on the foundation and farming now. This was a really good find. Like, I like how they've, because in the first one there was a huge ship there was also a huge ship in this one as well. I'll get into that. But that ship crashed a long time ago. The one in this game is just more small colonies without as many needing to be in the game to learn stuff. So you don't need to quite explore as much. You only need to find like one hot spot to get a lot of the technology that you need, instead of having to find 3 or 4 different little hot spots just to get tiny bits of technology. This one, you'll find one place and it'll give you a lot of stuff, which is really great. Like that's a way better way of doing it. You can spend more time working on your base and building it rather than constantly exploring just to try to add to your base, and then regretting what you build because you've already got the stuff you want, if you know what I mean. Now, those of you who aren't aware, yes, this is containing spoilers. I was going to mention that at the start, but we'll go straight into the cutscenes. So this is a sea truck module. Now, they built at the vehicle bay just like the sea truck is. If anyone remembers this, the sea moth, the cyclops, the prawn suit, every vehicle gets built at this thing. They drop in the ocean. Now, the cool way that this works is that it's got like a little ring. You can see that little grab attachment on top. You drag that over to your sea truck and it connects to it. It's pretty cool. Now, at this point, we've already got the fabricator module attached to our sea truck. This adds the aquarium module. Now, the aquarium module is actually really funny. Any fish you run over goes into your aquarium module. Like, you just run over that fish. So this is the farm that I've got going at the moment. Just like farming in the previous game, though, you just hit the node with... Oh, well, these are underwater ones, so I don't really remember. I think the other ones had to be the watermelons, and good ones had to be all grown on the surface. But this is all underwater ones, so they made farming like a lot easier so far, at least. This is exploring the wreck. I've gotten a few bits of the prawn suit in here already. As you can see, this wreck has been down here a long time compared to the wreck in the original one. They've added these little plants, as you can see there. They're like air plants. You click on them, you get air and oxygen, which helps with like diving through these dangerous areas. Gives you a refill spot. They don't give you much oxygen though, only about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, probably less. But it does help. Really, really helps. Oh, those Chinese cabbages, I couldn't plant them. I was so annoyed. I was like, yes, Chinese cabbages are so great. I remember those things. But no, they wouldn't let you plant them anyway. Maybe they're a surface plant, though, thinking about it. I remember having to plant them in surface beds in the previous one. So, the wreck itself is kind of dangerous to swim through. It's quite large. As you can tell, it's got bits and pieces everywhere, and you kind of lose where you're going on the way back out. There is so many new fish in Below Zero that I just can't even breach that topic. There's so much new fish. They're great. The fish options are like really, really cool. So this was a surface area I found. This was where I believe you're going to have to eventually go explore to find out more about the place. I went through an underwater canal to get here under the ice, full of jellyfish, these really cool looking jellyfish, and then we went ashore. So this cold area is quite hostile. What happens is, the way they function here is, instead of using your breath, it has a thermometer meter which goes down instead. And you can see the place looks so alien, so different, but at the same time it's so cool. To actually explore the surface is great. Now, I kind of would have rather not like a frozen tundra everywhere, but hey, you take what you get, and at least they still have it to be challenging. It's got creatures as well. There's a whole bunch of new creatures up there. These are snow demon bear, I don't know, they're called snow somethings, but they're definitely out there somewhere. You'll see one here in a little bit. That's for sure. So you're definitely following the footprints of your sister here. Her little excavation is just up the road there. It's pretty cool. So there's more technology, obviously. Like I said, they drip feed the technology into you by giving you very few locations, but each location gives you a lot of stuff. So that's awesome. I like that. I really like that. Oh yeah, there's a new way to get water when you're on here. You can actually just look down and pick up snow, and then use tablets to break down the snow to water. Interesting mechanic. So hypothermia events, these things here are meant to make you feel better. Oh look, it's the snow, I don't know, thing that hurts. I'm pretty sure this is where I died, and I couldn't find that stuff I dropped either. It was so annoying. So we're going to go a little bit faster here. This is deeper in the snow area. Now, this area here was a really cool little location. So this is the security guy's logs. He's going through it. You learn how to make a fridge, and you get to figure out a few things. I wanted to show this area though, because I have a feeling that this game is heavily about this area. This was just past where I got grabbed by that snow demon-y thing inside the mountain, if you're wondering. So as you go through this cave, you get to figure out what everyone was doing. Now, you can still kind of understand them, even though it's on a little bit of extreme speed. Sounds like Sheldon Cooper talking about taking a breath, but still, it's good. She never took it off. So, up ahead here is something that I just love that they have here. It's going to be so interesting. I have a feeling it's got a lot to do with the game. Oh yeah, and this wreckage is giving out like really good technology stuff, like heaps of good technology. That's a claw. How cool is that? What is the size of this Leviathan? Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Like, I know the previous game had really big Leviathans, but that's staggering. That's what that is. Absolutely staggering. Look at that thing. Nearly finished the prawn suit too. I just need like one more piece. That'd be so good. I don't know if the prawn suit's going to be as good this time as it was last time. Some people preferred the prawn suit. I always preferred the Seamoth in preference. And that's its head. Giant death Leviathan head. And obviously there's some kind of sample thing that needs to be done there. I haven't figured that out yet. Look at that. Look at that teeth. Like, then again, it's frozen in the ice, so we have no idea how big this thing is. I assume it's still way bigger than the previous Leviathans. Like, its teeth is almost the size of us. I mean, come on, it's got to be bigger than the previous Leviathans. It looks so cool. Very excited about this, to see where this goes. And I have to figure out the...
Stay off my land. You trained that thing?
Next time I'll let him tear you to ribbons, Altera.
I'm not with Altera. I'm Robin Ayu. I'm looking for information about my sister Sam. I think you might have crossed paths.
Bull crap. I suggest you take the time you need to come to your senses and then get off my sea base. If you're not Altera, why don't you disable that damn tracking satellite tower instead of barging into my sea base? Maybe once Altera's off my back, I'll remember something about your sister. There's some junk on that table that might help. I couldn't get it to work.
New blueprint synthesized.
Also, notice the giant reaper head in the wall. Now, I kept this going because of this log.
That far out to sea, swimming back for land wasn't an option. I'd die from exhaustion long before I made it to shore. All I could do was survive long enough to wash up somewhere. I felt a suction, and suddenly, there were vast jaws rising out of the water towards me. It had taken hours for the Reaper's corpse to float to the surface. Using the knife, I clambered up her flank and got a perch on top. I figured she'd float for a few days at least, enough for me to catch my breath. But would she sink before or after I died of thirst? I had a knife, a repair tool, and 3 liters of water. At least I wasn't going to die of exhaustion. Now, those Reapers, they're practically all muscle, but there's some fat in there. I was able to keep warm and drink the water. And I didn't have much, but I had that repair tool, so I had a spark. It took a week to light that first fire. And I know more about the burning properties of Reaper fat than I ever cared to. I had to ration fires, but as they burned, I could smoke meat that I carved out of the beast's rib cage.
Very cool character. So this is a little bit I want to talk about. This is not Subnautica related. This is obviously 7 Days to Die. I'm just going to give you a quick look over my base. I'm very happy with my 7 Days to Die base. I've been playing this pretty much without internet as well. My dongle connection has been holding up. I can't play a lot of other games. I've missed Outriders release and things like that. So the garden there was made by Rick. I've cemented the yard. I'm just showing you the cameras. So as you can see, the doors are automated. Now there is an alarm system set up underneath there. So there's a camera in each corner of this building set up to set off an alarm system, which then sets off and uses all of the SMGs on the roof as well. It's only set to trigger when a zombie's nearby. So those alarms that you can see there will go off when the zombie approaches the side. This is the gate. The gate opens and shuts. It's obviously awesome. And this is what we call the pit. I have 5,000 dukes, brace mods, and parkour all the way, if you're wondering why I can jump off that. I'm like level 250 or something insanely stupid. But this has been probably one of my best playthroughs so far. I'm going to share with you a little bit of a tip as well that I found out. Now, obviously, as you can see from the roof there with the SMGs, that there is a new little way to do Horde Night, and I thought that was actually really interesting. So I'm just going to drive the motorbike in and out to show you that the gate's working, the car's parked there. I don't use the car. The other boys liked the car when they were playing. There's little cameras shown on the way out. So this is the way to the Horde base. Now, unsurprisingly, this is built the exact same place, exact same way as the last time I built a base, except just heavily improved on. So this is the Horde base from the perspective. The ramp works pretty simply. Zombies wander on or up. There is blade traps all set up. Now, I've set up 3 generators so far. There was only one originally. There's way more shocking now. There's electric fences set up, relays set up to run the power. Now, you need to make sure your relays are protected. It's very easy for a relay to get knocked out. I think I fell off here. Whoops. But there's the main generator, which runs pretty much all the defenses, except for the side defenses, which are run from these relays here and generators. Now, as you can see, there's one of my turret towers. Now, the most important thing I want to point out is if you go with the arc-style turret towers around your base to shoot the zombies, yes, it works, but make sure they're facing away from your base, just in case they shoot a demo in the chest. So I decided, I had 12 rockets up my sleeve, and I decided I just want to be a rocket man because I got demolitionist all the way now. I haven't got much else to do. So I took 12 rounds, and I decided just to fire with demolitionist at perk 5, a level 5 rocket launcher at the hospital. Let's just see what kind of damage it all did. As you can see, it does a little bit of damage. I was expecting a bit more, but then reminds myself that the hospital is mostly made out of cement. Well, thank you very much for joining me in the weekly roundup. Hopefully I'll see you all soon on the net. Have a good one, guys.